If you want to watch someone trade in real time while I'm in the trade, I just made a quick $20 on this contract. I bought 3 micro futures contracts in the S&P 500. I have no idea what's going to happen. I got into the trade because I saw my trading plan come up, so I've just entered the trade. I took one off. If you want to experience that right now in real time, come along with me, pay attention, and let's see what happens. And as the trade unfolds, I might lose on this trade, I might win big on this trade. So stick around and let's go through it right now. So basically, I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking, all I see is volume, all I see is a push and a big candle, and we pop over that 15 EMA, 15 exponential moving average. And I just like it because it gives me a really good visual. And I notice time and time again that prices usually will at least stay around the 15 EMA and kind of work around it. So when I see a nice push of volume that we saw here, especially after a big dip, and the other day we had a gargantuan move that I wish I was a part of, and we had a huge buy-in, which is most likely the algorithm saying, hey, we're on the buy program side. We have a nice little dip down here. You can see on the 15-minute, we're dipping down right to this area here. We had a nice push the other day. You can see the volume here. So we've dipped down to that, and also we're dipped down to the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price, which is a really important thing to pay attention to. Look that up if you don't know too much about it. So the VWAP is really important, and then we're bouncing kind of just off of that and pushing up. So for me, it's just like, all right, let's enter the trade. But to keep it super simple, it's just big rush of volume, big candle, pop over the 15 EMA, I enter. I entered on the green line we see right here. Transparent, I did 3 contracts at 477, 875. So I got in right there, and then I always just take off at 4 points. So once I get 4 points, I take off 1 contract. The reason I do that is because if I get in this and it pops up 4 points and then it ends up coming all the way back down here and hitting my stop, well then I mitigated some on my risk, I made a little bit of money, I'll only have 2 contracts on, and so I won't lose as much, and I take advantage of the quick little move that I'm trying to be a part of. You know what, now that I'm speaking out loud about it, I feel like I want to bring my stop down to originally where it should be. I have a set of rules, you know, and the other day, you can see my trading. The other day, I got a little ahead of myself, and I thought of what I just said out loud right there. And it came down and wicked down and perfectly touched my stop and then kept running up. And I missed out on a great opportunity. So this is why I post these videos too, because it helps you and it helps me. Because saying that out loud, it's like, no, you know what? You had your stop. Let it sit, simmer. Once we actually do start to move up and we start to get up here, then I'm going to move up to break even and everything like that. And then I'll be, you know, making sure that it's a winning trade no matter what. But as the trade right now is still playing out, I need to give it some room. I need to give it a chance to go. I made my $20. I mitigated my risk. I only have two contracts on anyway. So whatever I lose from here, it's part of the trade. So that's why I post these videos. And you should do the same thing. I can tell you right now, speaking out loud when you're trading really, really helps. You know, so if you're in the trade next time, you should really say what I'm saying right now. You know, hey, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing that. And sometimes you can catch yourself and make a better move. If I'm on over here on the 15-minute, I want to see where's the next level that I want to get to. Now, this level is close. We already hit it. So I'm not going to focus on that. But where's my next target, right? You could say it's probably the 47.89, but I would say that's pretty close too. So I would say my next target would be this level here, because we had, so I would want to be right about here, because we had price come all the way up to here and then simmer sideways for a while, and then it really started to get knocked down in the morning. So I would say having it right about here is probably exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to set up my next target would be, I'm going to sell right there. So we did get some movement, and we're kind of, you know, this is what I want to see. Big candle, pop up, kind of getting some movement. We have an increase in volume here. I'd love to see more volume to really get going. But we're working our way towards the first target that I have. At this point, I feel comfortable to move my stop up to here. So below this drop that we had in price, if I move it up to there, that's getting closer to my entry, because at this point, if the price does come down below this big candle here, it's most likely that this trade's not going to work for me. And so I've established at this point, like, okay, it is worth it for me to move my stop up and actually, sell the price, sell off the stock. And that way I am mitigating some risk, and I don't have to, basically, I don't have to lose more than I would normally have to. So we're getting a little bit of movement here. What I'm looking for, I want to see high numbers on the ask, telling me that people are coming in and buying at market. And then I want to see just a rush of volume and a really good push with some big candles to get to that target. Saw a little bit of volume here, a little bit of a push, which is great. But I'm looking over at the 15, right? And I don't want to be greedy. That's my biggest thing. So I'm going to move it down to right below. You see how there's, if we go on the 15 minute here on the bigger screen, you see how there's a bigger candle here, right? So the big candle, I just like the big red candles. So the bigger candle movement down, I want to be inside the meat of that move. I don't want to be above it or on the tippy top. Now, it could continue and keep going all the way up to here. That's fine. But for my first target, or I guess my second target, I want to be just doing part of the meat of the move. And we can see here that, it's kind of finding some resistance there. So the biggest thing for me is not being greedy and just taking the trade as it comes. So I probably should have had it down a little bit lower there. So we'll see what happens. But basically, we're going to kind of let this play out and see how it goes. But I'm hoping that in real time, look at this, high numbers on the ask, right? You see the higher numbers on the ask? Oh, idiot, you got to transmit when you change. Boom. So I forgot in interactive brokers, you have to transmit it when you change. But yeah, see those high numbers on the ask? That came flashing up there. Rewind the video if you want to look at it again. But see the higher numbers on the ask, and then you're getting that push. Now you might think like, oh, well, why not just let it play and go out there? Well, I just have learned over the years that being greedy and trying to get the very top and trying to get the very, the most maximum part of the move just doesn't work out, because oftentimes you get to that resistance point and then it does a flip around and turns around, and then I'm kind of fighting for, resistance down here. So basically I just made that. So I'm 72 and 20 on the day. So I've made 93 now on the day. And then now I have a free trade. So I'm just going to move my stop up to just above my entry. So no matter what happens, I'm going to have 40, 80. If you're out there and you know how to use interactive brokers, because I'm kind of newer to this system, and you have a quicker way to make what I just did happen, please let me know. Comment below. That'd be incredible. But essentially now I have a free trade. And this is exactly what you want to see. Some nice volume pushing up, breaking through resistance. Yes, I could have made a little bit more. It did probably come up to where I was, but that's fine with me. I have a free trade. I still have a contract going. I'm technically up 172 on it right now if I got out, but I'm just going to ride it for a bit. Look at this and say, okay, as we come up and we start to go up, when it starts to come back down and muddle in around here, just like it did down in here at this point, then I just want to make my stop below that. And then if we kind of keep coming up again and we come down, then I want to move my stop up to there. Just a simple trailing stop, so that as the price keeps going, I just keep raising my stop. I don't want to try to snipe another target, because I just want to give it a chance to get going. That's all I want to do. So yeah, basically it. Thanks for sticking around this long. I'm going to post exactly right now what I actually made on profit and as I move through it. So if you like this type of trading and you want to follow along with me while I'm doing it, I'm basically just going to let this ride and see what happens. Got a free trade. I'm not going to lose any money. That's another green day, which is fantastic. Making some money, turning the account around, which is awesome. So follow along, like and subscribe if you're interested. Thanks for sticking around this long. I'll catch you on the next one.